What's going on, everyone? Can I get a 1-2-1-2 if you can hear me? Unfortunately, I had to restart the live stream because, of course, I always run into technical difficulties. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Wait for some people to come on. So what's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing this Saturday night? I just responded to some Discord right now. So BTC. If we look at it since the beginning of the year, we're actually on an uptrend. But if we look at it short term, we're on a downtrend. So initially, I had our uptrend right here, but since this last drop down, you can actually validate the next uptrend right here. In which case, we are holding that right now. We really can't fall below 37.5. It looks like, otherwise it'll invalidate that downtrend. Um, I personally got my buy order filled in on PBX, so we can do whatever it wants now. I'm ready for it to take off. I was waiting for it to drop to a certain point and fill up my bag, and it did. So congrats to me, I guess. Yeah, just for the time being, we really need to stay in this uptrend. I mean, if we look at the micro downtrend since March 30th, we've been in a very, very steep downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. So if you just go off of March 29th and the entire month of April, I would actually keep an eye on it drop down further for a bottom for this month play out, which would actually invalidate. I mean, technically, this uptrend, you could just drag it out forever and say, hey, we're in an uptrend, we're in an uptrend, we're in an uptrend until we're right here. So I wouldn't even really go off that uptrend because we could actually drop down here and still validate this uptrend. The lowest we can go to maintain this bullish momentum since the beginning of this year on Bitcoin is 34.3. We can't fall below 34.3. We fall below 34.3, then we're going to have a bad time. But for the time being, if we just look at this micro downtrend, it's very, very steep. The entire month of April has just not been bullish at all. And we have been making lower highs and lower lows, which inevitably a lower low could bring us down to 37,000 for Bitcoin. That's enough about Bitcoin. I'm going to wait for some more people to jump in here and we can start charting. What's going on? Is anyone even in here? I know it's Saturday night. Let me try to toss some music. Maybe that'll bring some people in. Okay, so I'm actually going to get into it. I'm actually going to start with PBX. I actually upgraded from the free trading view, so now I'm a pro. So now I guess you can say I'm official. I'm officially a trading view aficionado or whatever they call it. So I got the Awesome Oscillator, which I've been using recently. It's actually pretty interesting, this Awesome Oscillator. You have the general line, and you can kind of, if you zoom in a little bit closer, you can kind of see short term your reversals and the consolidation and stuff. So I'm still learning about the Awesome Oscillator, but this is probably going to be a normal thing that we'll be using from now on. Yeah, this thing looks very, very useful. I definitely recommend looking into the Awesome Oscillator if you're a charter. So with that, we'll jump into our first coin tonight. What's up, everyone? What's up, Kyle? Had a little technical difficulty at the start, but what else is new with my live streams, right? I'm just going to start out with my PBX, like always. So my PBX, I actually had a buy order in at 5.3, and it actually got filled. So I know previously I stated I hit my goal back when I hit 1 million PBX holding, but this price was just too hard to pass up. So I put in another buy-in order for 1 million PBX at 5.3, and if it got hit, it got hit. And it actually dropped down to 5.199, and I was lucky enough to get it at 5.3. The way the market's going, though, we could probably fall below that, but I'm holding this thing long term. If this thing takes off, I am golden. Judging by the awesome oscillator, we have been pretty much maintaining 937 for a while now, well below the bullish momentum. Still trying to figure out how to use the awesome oscillator, so if you know anything about this, please let me know. I know quite a bit, not quite a bit, but I have been studying up on it. From what it looks like, I don't know if this would be the trend or not. I know the tighter it gets to this zero line, that's when the reversal is about to happen. But we're not going to talk much about the awesome oscillator. I'm just kind of taking a look at it while I'm charting, trying to figure it out. We'll go by the RSI. So the RSI is extremely low on PBX right now, like extremely low. So I definitely see it reversing soon. I'm just thankful I got a buy-in order at 5.3. If it goes below that, it goes below it. But I was just looking at the RSI, and if it fell off the table, that would have been the optimum price to buy in. So personally, I think we might be seeing some upward movements from quite a few coins in the next couple of days. Not massive movements, but I think it's going to be that that shake and bake that Bitcoin's doing right now, shaking the people out of the market. So let's just keep an eye on a slight movement up for quite a bit of coins this week. Not a massive movement up, but I think coins are going to be starting to move up quite a bit because everything's bottoming, and then you got to make your upwards before you drop down again. Not saying we're going to drop down again, but Bitcoin is shaking quite a few people out right now. Personally, it's a great buying opportunity for all these coins. I know some people are scared, but if you've been around for a while, you know a dip like this, when a dip like this happens, it's just an amazing buying opportunity or a perfect opportunity to dollar cost average into your long-term holds. But with that, enough about my PBX. We'll get into the chat. LoomSwap, LSP. So LSP. So can everybody hear me? I changed some settings and stuff like that. So let me know how I sound. So LSP, symbols not found. Symbols not found. Yo, there's nothing, doesn't look like there's anything called LumenSwap. Okay, right here, LumenSwap, 2 cents up 0.9, 1 billion max supply, small, or almost total supply of almost 1 billion, question market cap, question, circulating supply, all-time high of 61 cents 7 months ago, all-time low of 2.2, 18 days ago. If we look at the max compared to the market cap, you can't really compare that on here. But everyone had that spike back in October, November, and you've been retracing. This coin is currently available on Bitmart, MEX, BitGlobal, Bit1, and Bitfinex. So with that, where can I chart this at? Let's see if I can chart it on DEX. Yeah, I don't know if I can chart this coin, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no charts on DEX or on TradingView, so we're unable to chart that. I'm very sorry. So if anyone else has any coins they'd like me to chart, make sure you post them. Oh, it's on the XML ecosystem. Came out back September 2021. Yeah, I just can't find a chart for it. It's not in either one of these charting softwares. So SPS, whoops. Yo, XPS, judging by the awesome oscillator, looks like it's going to flip bearish. I'm just learning how to use this, so I'm really not going to jump into it too much on the live stream. I'm just kind of getting a feel for it right now. Read up a little bit on it, and it seemed very useful. But we'll just go by the RSI and the charts and fibs. So as of right now, it looks like we're heading down to around 111, which actually validates this move right here. We're currently being held up by the 618 at 11 cents. If we do go by this awesome oscillator, from what I've learned, is when you have a hump like this, you'll gradually work your way back down to 00, and then if you flip, you flip. And judging by the RSI, it looks like we're actually going to be heading down here to approximately 11.7 to test the support. If we break below the support, we have a 786 right below it. And from there, I think we might reverse up. So this actually isn't looking too bad compared to a lot of other coins recently. You actually had a nice move up here, and you're just having a slight retracement, a cool down period. So personally, I'd actually keep an eye on the 786 right now. I mean, you haven't fallen below it yet, but there's a good chance this candle closes in 12 minutes. There's a good chance we could fall below this 11.92, 618 area and head down to this main support. But the good part is, you drop down here, you have a main support at 11.69, and then you have a support channel on 786. So you have a ton of support in this general area. So I don't think we fall below 11.47. That's what I'm saying, is even if you come down and you have a ton of support, I think the lowest we could possibly go is 11.47 before we start reversing back up for this coin. And I think this coin's starting to look pretty bullish. I think we might be looking for something like this, a ladder up effect starting for this coin. It doesn't seem to be super affected by Bitcoin. Yeah, you had this big red wick, but you had a lot of buying power right here at the 12-cent area. Judging by a lot of coins not tanked, but dropped considerably, and this one really hasn't been affected that much. But let's just keep an eye on the worst case scenario of 11.47 for a continuation up to 13.6, not right off the rip, but a gradual build up to there, and start this ladder up effect for LSP or SPL, SPS. Jeez. So with that, I gotta do some some quant. I haven't been online. I haven't made any videos in a while. I've been extremely busy with work, so just doing a live stream tonight. So just get caught up on some coins. So if you're on the live stream, you want your coins charted, now's the time. I'll probably put out more videos tomorrow. So the thing about quant is we are continuing this downtrend, and the awesome oscillator seems like it wants to head down to 11. So personally, I would keep an eye on a lower drop for quant. Unfortunately, I know I've been super bullish on quant for a very long time, but quant is really not holding any support right now. If we draw from the bottom to the top right here, yeah, we fell below the 786 on the micro fib. If we zoom out a little bit more, we can try to take a deeper look at it and extend the fib all the way down to the latest lower or latest bottom right here. To the top right there, and it actually looks like we're being held up by the 618 on that on the main fib. So we're kind of on life support for quant right now. We could actually see personally a pretty decent drop in my opinion. I'm going to draw a ray on here because I can see a support channel that's not labeled. So if we fall below the 786 right here, if we fall below $93, we could see a decent sized drop down to $89, $90. That's a $4 drop, which is approximately 5%. You know, now the way that Bitcoin's moving and stuff like that, a 5% drop on an altcoin is nothing. So hopefully, I mean, we did have a pretty nasty drop here. Hopefully we bounce off the 618 and work our way back up. But I'm going to extend this a little bit further now. So if we bounce off the 618, there's a good chance we could head up to test this out again. But if we fall below the 618, I think we're heading down to the support right here. You can see it held quite a bit in the past, and that's 90, what is that, $87, $88 for quant. I mean, I want Quant to rip. The RSI is definitely in the area to take off. I mean, you've been testing the 30 and you haven't dipped below it yet. It looks like it wants to curve back up to the 50 and tag 70, but we'll just have to assess the situation at that time. I know a lot of people are getting shaken out by Bitcoin, and when people start getting shaken out by Bitcoin, prices start dropping, and that increases more fear from other holders. So honestly, I'm not looking to flip any profits right now. I'm looking at what coins I want to accumulate, because now is a fantastic time to accumulate coins. So I know I know pretty much all portfolios are down right now. And instead of being upset about it, just look in the long term and say, hey, what coins can I dollar cost average in, or what coins have I been looking at for a long time that I can pick up on a dip. That's how I'm viewing this. So with that, we got Mobius. Oh, Mobius. Whoa, Mobius ripped lately. What happened to Mobius? Was there a catalyst of some sort? Up 8.8% at 3.2. All-time high of 35 4 months ago. All-time low of quadruple 06 2 years ago. Market cap compared to max. So they put more coins. They definitely put more coins in around the end of 2021, but it doesn't seem like it's affecting it much. Let's get into the charting. Man, this thing ripped. This thing took off. Oh, actually, yeah, it took off. Didn't even tag 70 on the RSI though. Let me get this out of the way. Actually broke above 70 on the RSI. Actually tagged 94. That's nuts. Look at this awesome oscillator too. Personally, I think we peaked out for a bit, and we might be seeing a pretty decent sized drop. Judging by this, I mean, usually when you peak out like this and you start seeing a peak, you start dropping quite a bit. So I could be seeing something like this on the awesome oscillator, which on the RSI would actually bring us back down to around 45, because you guys blew above 70, absolutely destroyed it, and topped out at 90. But for the short term, let's keep an eye on 31 cents. I mean, you guys have a ton of support right here. You can see you have a main support at 31 cents. You have a main support at 28 cents. You have 3 support channels on the left, and the support channel right now, if we take a little bit closer look, is actually holding right now on this coin. So for short term, let's just keep an eye on 31 for a bounce up here to test 36 cents. But I think something like this could be in the cards if Bitcoin doesn't decide to take off. You guys had a nice run here, and you guys haven't had a run like this in a very long time, since pretty much beginning of January. But nonetheless, if there was some sort of catalyst or some sort of event that came out that caused this, you could definitely see a run up. I just don't know. I don't know anything about Mobius. So if they came out with an upgrade or some sort of ecosystem or some sort of catalyst that caused this, it could definitely influence the price long term. But just judging by the chart without knowing anything like that, I'd keep an eye on a retracement, not a hardcore retracement, just something like this. So the main price to look at right now is not 31 cents, 3.1 cents, and then possibly testing 3.6, and then bouncing down here to the main support at 2.1. And you definitely have to have a retracement when your RSI is this high. I know people are probably like, oh, you're saying my coin's going to be retracing and everything like that, but when you absolutely blow the top off the RSI, you need to cool down. It's like you're a rocket ship. You head up here, you run out of fuel. You need to come back down and fuel back up. So for the short term, keep an eye on 31. If 31 doesn't hold your next stop's probably not 31, 3.1. If 3.1 doesn't hold your next stop's 2.8. But personally, I think we're heading down. I don't think we're blasting above here anytime soon. We definitely need to retrace on the RSI and the awesome oscillator before we start taking off again. So I think we're looking for a little bit more retracement before continuation higher on Mobius. So Algorand. Let's clean this up. Wow, Algo. Crap in the bed. Man. Let's take a deeper look at this real quick. How long has it been going in a downtrend? Been in a downtrend since September of 2021. That is nuts. You haven't been this low since approximately June of 2021. That's crazy. If you bought this coin back in June 2021, it'd be at the exact same price. We're going to have to draw a massive fib on this just to even get some data, so let's try it out. Yikes. So currently on the main fib, we tested the 5 and got support from there, but just judging by the awesome oscillator and the RSI, I think we're going to be starting to work our way back up to test this resistance again. We have been in a downtrend making higher highs and lower lows, so a move like this is definitely not out of the cards. So personally, I'd keep an eye on a movement up to 68 cents area, and I think we might get rejected there. We can break slightly above it, but I don't think we're heading up to make a higher high. We've pretty much been making lower lows since the beginning of April. Yeah, so Algo isn't looking super bullish in my opinion. I believe in Algo long term. I know the utility behind Algo, and I know quite a few people that hold Algo and what it does. And Algo's a good long term hold. So personally, these kind of prices might not be a bad opportunity to load up some more in your bag. But for the short term, I think we're gonna be looking for a little rise up to the main resistance, probably a 7% pump up, and then a rejection around 68 to 70 cents, and then moving our way back down on Algo. Yeah, but Algo's been in a downtrend since September of 2021. It's got to reverse eventually, right? When's the bottom? RSI is definitely set up to do it. I mean, RSI is at 50. Judging by the awesome oscillator, you've been making lower or higher lows. So a higher low right here is definitely not out of the cards. You just have not been breaking over the 0. So with that, I'd personally keep an eye on 68 cents for a retracement for another lower low and then a bounce up. So for the short term, I think we're heading up to 68 cents to get rejected. Unless Bitcoin decides to rip and we wake up and Bitcoin's up to 44,000. If Bitcoin goes up to 44,000, we're going to see 20% plus gains on pretty much all altcoins. But I just can't be bullish on this coin right now. It's just not looking super great. But I believe in the utility behind it. So Jasmy. So I can't remember the last time I charted Jasmy, but I had it bouncing off the support channel, and that's when it rocketed. So that was my Moonboy talk, and looks like we're heading down to that support channel right now. I said if it fell below 2, our next support would be the main support at 1.7. We haven't really tagged 1.7 yet, but the RSI is definitely, I mean, we've been pretty much bleeding on the RSI since the 21st of April, and we are definitely at rock bottom right here. Not saying we can't dip below 30, but usually 30 is the bottom. And I'd personally keep an eye on the support at 172. If we break below 172, it's going to get bad. It's going to get very, very bad for Jasmy if we break below 172. Yeah, if it gets below 172, we're going to see a pretty big drop. Approximately, not 34. What's that? Zoom out right here. Yeah, we'll see approximately a 10% drop plus. This is the next support, it looks like right there. I'll draw a ray just so we can have a visual of it. So keep an eye on 1.72. If we fall below that, our next stop's 157. We really have not been making higher highs. We've been making lower highs and lower lows, but inevitably everything's got to reverse eventually. So I would actually keep an eye for a bounce off this, and I'm still going to be bullish on bouncing off 1723 to jump up to the 618 at 24. But we really got to get over 2 cents to take that off. So let's just keep an eye on 1723 for a bounce up to 2 cents. If we overtake 2 cents, this is reversed, and we can start talking about heading up higher. But 2 cents is going to be a very difficult area to get over. You can see we fell below it right here and tagged 172 and tried to get over 2 cents quite a bit before we actually did. And I think that same scenario is in play if we continue to bounce off the 1723 main support, we're going to have a hard time getting over the 786 at around 2 cents. But once we do, I think we're going to have another run up like this to test this main resistance. I think it's going to be very similar to this period right here that we're going to be going through. Testing the 786 2 cent area, then as soon as we break it, we'll make a run up towards this main resistance to try to break over that. So let's just keep an eye on a bounce on 1723 and heading up to 2 cents. You see it break over 2 cents, like not break as in a wick, break as in you see an open candle and a close above 2 cents. We can start talking about this type of effect heading up to the main resistance area. But for the time being, we really need to hold this 1723 main support and overtake 2 cents once again. RSI definitely has enough room to run right now. Pretty much at the bottom on the RSI, you definitely have enough room to run. So it's not out of the cards for that to happen. All right, Lopez. CEEK, is that a coin or is that a word? Seek. That's an actual coin. Smart VR token. A VR token? What is that? Up 1.2%, 41.6 cents, 1 billion total supply, 739 million circulating, and a 307 million market cap, all-time high of 119. 5 months ago, all-time low of 3 zeros and a 7 2 years ago. Available on these exchanges down here. So let's get into, I don't even know if I can chart this. Let's see. Oh no, it's on here. Oh, it's on KuCoin. Yo, this thing looks like it's about ready to reverse and take off. If we break above this 50, just by the quick look at it. When did this coin come out? June 2018. So it's a long timer. I need to find a better chart. Okay, this is what I got to work with here. So we're holding the 39.7 support. Awesome oscillator. Looks like it wants to reverse. Looks like we're having a pretty decent consolidation right here. Let me draw a fib and try to figure out what's going on. Go to the bottom right there. Bounced off the 786. Once we fell below this main support, got rejected at the main resistance area. Currently riding on top of this support channel. RSI is pretty much moving sideways at the 50 area. Awesome oscillator. Looks like it wants to flip. So I think we're actually on the cusp of running. Not running as in taking off to the moon, but I think we're going to be breaking above 50 and working our way up towards 70. So if this support holds right here, the support channel, I think we're going to be making a run to try to overtake this main resistance at 45 cents. If we fall down below this, I think we'll probably hold the support here. But judging by the RSI and the awesome oscillator, it looks like it wants to run one more time up to the 786 main resistance area at 45 cents. So I'm going to call it and say I'd keep an eye on a move up to 45 cents area to try to overtake that resistance. If we don't overtake that resistance, we'll get rejected there. If we overtake that, we could actually be off to the races to 51. RSI definitely has room to do that, but for the short term, let's just look for a pump up to around 45 cents, 44, 45. And then if we get rejected there, we'll have to keep an eye on the support again for something. If this breaks, though, if this 786 breaks and this main support, you have a double main support right here. You have a 786 and you have a main support, so double support's great. But if you break below that, there's really no other support before you drop down to 32. I mean, you can call this support right here, but it only rode on that for a day. So inevitably, there's some sort of support in here. There's just no data to back that up. So obviously, you could probably drop down to 35 if you fell below that, but there really is no main support here. I'll draw this just for shits and giggles, in case I chart it later down the road. Yeah, let's just keep an eye on a move up to 45. If we overtake that, I think we're off to the races. If we get rejected and these don't hold, our next stop would be 35. I mean, technically this has been on a downtrend since April 7th. but the support has held fantastically the entire month of April, and even back here in March. So pretty much since March 20th, this support has been our lifeline. It's held us up once, twice, 3 times. So hopefully it holds us up again, but personally I think we're heading up to 45 before we retrace back down to it for this coin. So I did Moby already. With that, Mobius, leaving stealth, tokenizing stocks. Hex. Yes, I have not done Hex in quite a while. It's actually one of the first coins I did on this channel. At my old job, I had a coworker who talked about Hex quite a bit. Man, up 17.4% today. That's nuts. Doesn't look bad at all. Pretty much available on Uniswap. So let's chart Hex. It's not available on TradingView, so I'm going to have to do it on DEX. Man, isn't that beautiful when you see that? I just love it. Oh, I haven't charted this since April 5th, and I had it dropping down, which it looks like it did, but I'm not going to pat my back because that was so long ago I don't even remember what I did. Nonetheless, Hex has been in a downtrend since September of 2021. Pretty much all coins have been on a downtrend since December of 2021 or November of 2021. So that can be your case for a bear market or not. I think we're in an extended bull market, personally. Yo, Hex looks like it has more room to run. I know we blasted. We're up here to 83 on the RSI, but I think we actually might wick or actually top out here at the 236 at 19. I'd actually keep an eye on 19 cents, and then a decent size retracement to the 618 for Hex. And then hopefully the 618 will hold, and we'll make another run up here. And if we make that other run, let's see if I can extend this even further. We'll go up to the next top. Actually, this actually looks exactly what's going to happen. We'll extend that out. Is bottom right there. It's bouncing off the 5 right here. I actually think we're heading up to the 5 for Hex at 19, then falling below the 618, bouncing off the 786, and that'll give us enough retracement on the RSI, enough juice, enough moon juice and fuel to blast back up here. You can see Hex loves blasting above 70 on the RSI, so a move like this is definitely a valid move for Hex. So I'd keep an eye on 19 cents and then a retracement down to 13. Yeah, that's a nasty drop, but a retracement to 13 actually wouldn't invalidate your bullish momentum. But I would actually look for something like that. And a retracement like that would actually be extremely healthy. It'd give you enough fuel to blast out of here. So it kind of looks like Hex is reversing right now too. Looks like you guys might have bottomed on the 8th of March. You've been in a general uptrend since. Yeah, look at that. This is textbook right here. If you like going off chart patterns and lines, look at. So think of this like a spring. If you've been in my live stream before, you've heard me say this. So you get in these triangles, and think of it like a spring. It coils up and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter till you get close to the peak of the triangle. And then all that energy coiled up from that spring releases and you get a pump. And that's exactly what happened here. So you guys coiled up in this triangle, got tighter and tighter and tighter, and then you broke out, and then you had this release of energy, which shot you to the upside. So personally, I think we're heading up to 19 cents. So let's just keep an eye on 19 cents for the top, and then the retracement either down to the 618 in continuation, so either retracement to around 1698 in a continuation higher, or a decent sized retracement to 1394, so 14 cents. One of these main support areas are going to hold. I don't think we're going back down here to test the bottom at 1243 again. We had the consolidation breakout And if this continues the run, it'd actually be ideal if we only retrace to the 618 at 16.8 right here for continuation rather than going down to 786. But both of these are valid moves, which would still maintain Hex's bullish momentum. But yeah, Hex just broke out. So let's just keep it up. You got to maintain this bullish momentum. Personally, now that I look at it, I think we're going to be retracing to the 618 more than the 786 for a continuation up now that I drew these. But yeah, Hex just broke out. So with that VXV, yo, VXV is still in this nasty downtrend. It looks very similar to Quant. I charted Quant earlier in the channel, and this looks very, very similar to Quant. Honestly, VXV hasn't been doing much on the RSI or on the Awesome Oscillator. You've just been bouncing between 50 and 30, which if you continue to do that, it's just going to continue to drop. You really need to break above 30 on the RSI and break above 0 on the Awesome Oscillator before we can start talking about moving up. So if we zoom in a little bit closer, we actually fell below this main support, which flipped it into resistance. On the fib, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. It's not looking too good. Zoom out and take a deeper look. Yeah, VXV, we really need to bounce back up from this area. Otherwise, we have one more support down here. And then after that, that's all she wrote. It's going to be a very bad time. So if we don't break above 152, I could be seeing a drop down to 140 for a bounce up to continue this downtrend. So I'm going to extend this line a little bit further. So let's look for a bounce down to 140 and then a test of this main resistance for VXV. And if we get rejected, our next step would be 130. And just continuing to ride this downtrend until we break it. And personally, I don't think VXV is going to be breaking this downtrend until Bitcoin decides to take off. I mean, we haven't been making nasty drops, but if you look at the RSI, it's perfectly content bouncing between the 30 and 50 area. And the Awesome Oscillators, perfectly content with staying around negative 19 and topping out at the 0. So yeah, until something happens with the big dog Bitcoin, this thing's going to continue to bleed out, or if you guys have a catalyst. So I think we're heading down to 40 cents for a retracement to 130 or 152, and then we'll assess the situation at that time for VXV. Coin what? Oh boy. Oh. I don't know which one coin is. Steem Exchange. What is this? Yeah, this looks like a rug pull, just from straight from the rip. Down 4.6% at quadruple. Not quadruple. 3 zeros and a 1. All-time high 6 months ago. All-time low 7 months ago. If you look at the max. Oh. Yeah, that was a while ago. I forgot all about that. So Steem Exchange, I don't know anything about this. Let's take a look, I guess. It's available on PancakeSwap. Yeah, I think this, I wouldn't invest in this coin. What up, Chef? Man, I am tired today, and believe it or not, I took a nap. I actually didn't work today. My son was sick, so I stayed home with him, and honestly, that's more that drains me out a lot more than work does. He just turned 1, so man, this chart does not look good. Pretty much all the charts look the same. So if we go from the bottom to this top right here, it's actually respecting this fib. So currently for this coin, I'd keep an eye in around 102. If we fall below 102, you're going to have a very, very bad time. There's really no support until you drop down to 40. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this coin, but this is your price right here. Your lifeline's 100. If you fall below 100, it's going to be a nasty drop down to 40. I've pretty much been bleeding out since December of last year. So with that, we'll go with Boson, B-O-S-O-N. What is that? Oh, I don't want that. Yeah, all the charts pretty much look the same, Chef. Dropping below the last main support channel. Looking like they're all about ready to reverse to retest that support channel. And I think in the next day or so, we'll see that test of that support. And if we start seeing them break, we could talk about taking off higher. But a lot of coins, even this one, you can see broke below the support channel and flipped it into resistance. And the awesome oscillator looks like it wants to continue to grow larger as well. You can see we were holding up at around negative 88, and it wants to head all the way down. So let's keep an eye. The RSI is definitely reset. That's the thing about these. All the RSIs are reset, but RSIs can go all the way down to 0. I've never seen one go down to 0. I think the lowest I've ever seen an RSI go is 10. But in my personal opinion, we can go down a little bit more before we start reversing on the RSI. So with that, let me draw a fib on this. Yeah, this one's not looking too hot either. Let me take a wider look, see if there's another bottom I can go off of. I can go off that bottom. Yeah, personally, I keep an eye on it. Drop down to the 786 at 60 cents. Boston looks like it wants to head down to this, which would actually validate this move below 30 on the RSI. So personally, I think 60 will be a reversal point for this coin. I don't think we're going to have a hard candle to it. You see how this red candle had a long-ass wick? We could definitely see a wick down here, and I think once we hit 60 cents, that could be our reversal point, unless, of course, Bitcoin continues to crap out. But all the RSIs on all these coins are bottomed out right now. And how much lower can you possibly go? Yes, you can go to 0, but even when Bitcoin was dropped down to 27,000 earlier, RSIs didn't even drop that low either. So I think a lot of coins are on the cusp of reversing and retesting the main resistance that they all just fell through. So you can see you broke below this main resistance at 72. I think we're actually going to be bouncing off 60 and working our way back up to 72. This would still validate this downtrend that you've been in since March 22nd as well. We're making consecutive lower highs and lower lows. So I could personally see a drop down to 60 and a big move up to 72. And then we'll assess the situation at that time. Okay, looks like I'm all caught up in the chats. Who wants their coins charted? Oh man, I am tired tonight. I'm gonna sleep good, hopefully. I actually got my first mowing in today. I love mowing the grass. All 3 acres. Yo, so SKL looks like it's holding up the 786 right now. Yeah, this fib's still valid. From here. I'm actually going to draw a new fib. I'm not going to go off an old fib because I really don't remember what that fib was for. So I'm not going to pretend to go off of that. I'm just going to start fresh. Okay, so I take that back about the 786. Personally, SKL has been moving down since April 1st. You had a nice cup forming right here, but personally, there really is no support right here at 16.5. It looks like it wants to head down to around 16 cents. RSI's actually got tagged out at 70 and is reversing it well. Awesome Oscillator just reversed as well. So with the RSI dipping below 50 and having this crossover from the RSI moving momentum and the Awesome Oscillator flipping from bullish to bearish, I think SKL is going to be moving down. I'd actually keep an eye on the 786 for a test like this, and if we fall below the 786, it's 13.8 for a bounce up like that. Yeah, we actually just flipped on the Awesome Oscillator and just had this crossover right here, which initiated the downtrend. So I'd actually keep an eye on the 786. If the 786 doesn't hold, SKL could be seeing something like this. Bounce off the 786, tagging the bottom of this really small resistance channel, then a continuation down to 13.8. So not super bullish on SKL right now. I think we're going to be retracing a little bit before we continue higher. So Chef, keep an eye on 15.5. If we don't bounce off 15.5 and head out from there, you're going to see a pretty decent sized drop. So I did Moby already earlier, so if you guys want to look at Moby, you can zoom back a little bit. We'll do BLZ. So BLZ, I'll clean this up. We'll just start fresh. Wow, BLZ's been in a downtrend for quite a while. December 11th on Coinbase. Does this have a... Hang on one sec. I just want to check and see if it yeah, it does. A US pair. Gives you more data. And we want all the data we can have. Actually, that one didn't give me... There we go. Yikes, 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 guys. Yeah, BLZ's kind of on life support right now. I'm going to draw a ray right here. BLZ is not looking very good. Awesome Oscillator reversed. Yes, he did bounce off 30 on the RSI. So I'd expect a slight movement up, but not a massive one. Personally, I think BLZ is going to come up here to tag the bottom of the 786 at around 13.5. And then from there, we're coming down to test the support. If we fall below support, it is going to get very, very nasty. I mean, you technically have one here as well, so I'll draw one there. I definitely see something like this at play until Bitcoin takes off for BLZ. You've been in a downtrend since February 17th and pretty much since April 5th on this main downtrend. But personally, RSI and whatnot looks like it wants to head up. So for the time being, let's keep an eye on 13.5 for a bounce back down to test this support. If the support at 12.75 doesn't hold, your next stop's going to be 11.6 or something like this. And this would actually validate this downtrend as well. So in the short term, I think we're moving up to 13.5. And in the long term, I think this is going to continue its downtrend until Bitcoin decides what it's going to do. So with that, we'll do EQ. What is this? I don't know if this is the right EQ. And oh, EQ Equilibrium Games, okay. And I think you've asked for this before, and I always have a very hard time finding the chart. Man, I don't know why I can't find it, man. I know I've found it before for you. I have not done Ape yet. Use the solo decks. Could you send a Sologenic decks? I've never heard of that. Let me take a look real quick. What is that? SOLOGNIC. Is it an actual charting software? Oh, never mind. I don't know, man. I'm confused. I'm like a caveman, I guess. With this. So spell. Man, guys, spell is not looking too good either. Personally, spell held at the support right here. Looks like it's going to test this main resistance at 0035. Our side definitely has room to do that and definitely has room to break above that. If we break above that, our next stop is this resistance channel right here at 3.7. If we get rejected from there, our next stop to 1.2 at 3.2. Personally, with the way the market's moving and with the way spell's been going, I don't think we're heading above this resistance channel. Sorry to say it. I think we're going to be hovering around this 30 to 50 on the RSI. So personally, I'd keep an eye out for a move like this on spell. Long term, spell might be a good play. I mean, during the bull run mania phase. But as of right now, spell's just been bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. So with that, we'll do Ape. Oh, come on, load. Man, Ape is just ripping. Broke out of whatever the hell I drew there. Now it looks like we're in a channel. Currently being held up at the 5, it looks like. for Ape. And personally, judging by the channel, I think we actually have this bounce off the 5 and we're going to be continuing up. I mean, there's really no other reason not to be bullish on Ape. The Awesome Oscillator seems to bottom out at around 100, around 0.98 to 1, and then you start reversing back up. RSI, you know, every time it tags 50, we break above 70. So, just judging by the past history, pretty much since April 18th, I think this might be the bottom for the short term, and we're going to be chasing another high on Ape. If I extend this channel a little bit further, I mean, you could go like that, but we're just going to ignore that wick. I'd personally keep an eye on a move up to approximately 26, 27 for a retracement down and then continuation like that. If Ape continues to move up like that, $27 is the next stop. If we fall below, we can't fall down to 618 because the lowest low we have right now is 1737, which is above the 618. So that would invalidate the entire uptrend that we've been in since April 18th. So we can't fall below $17.40, which I don't think Ape's going to do. Personally, I think Ape's going to hold at the 0.5 right here and work its way up to around $27 for the time being. So yeah, Ape's looking great. I mean, if you got in at the $7 listing and you held until now, that's approximately a 284% gain since March 18th. It's not bad at all. You can't complain about that. So with that, guys, I know I haven't been on the live stream for long, but I do have time to chart one more coin tonight. I'll do another live stream tomorrow. Just wanted to get I haven't posted videos in a while, so just wanted to get back out there and give you guys some information to go off of. So who wants the last coin of the night? I really want to find that EQ coin. He said go off the Singularity. I don't know what that is, man. I'm dumber than a box of rocks, apparently. Yep. So with that, guys, I know it's a short live stream. I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow. I just wanted to get a refresher since I haven't uploaded videos in a while. I'll be uploading some more tomorrow and doing a live stream tomorrow. So I just appreciate everyone coming out tonight, and make sure you check out my OpenSeas account. Links in the description below, and I also unlocked memberships. So if you guys want to become a member of my channel, I believe it's $5 a month. You get a special symbol next to your name on live streams and in comments on videos. So make sure you check that out too. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the live stream.